Seppuku, a ritualistic form of suicide, stands as one of history's most brutal execution methods. Rooted in the samurai ethos of Bushido, seppuku was not merely an act of self-termination, but a profound expression of resolve, dignity, and restoration of honor. Traditionally, seppuku was reserved for samurai who had brought shame through a defeat or failure. The ritual involved a ceremonial disembowelment, a method chosen to demonstrate the samurai's courage and steadfastness in facing unbearable pain. The act was both personal and public, with witnesses ensuring its honorable execution. The process was as meticulous as it was macabre. Clad in white, symbolizing purity, the samurai would write a death poem, an opportunity to reflect on life's transient beauty. Armed with a tanto, a small dagger-like sword, he would plunge it into his abdomen, making a sweeping, slicing motion. As the life ebbed from the samurai, an assistant, known as a kaishakunin, stood behind with a sword, ready to deliver a mercy stroke to decapitate swiftly. The origin of seppuku is debated but is often traced back to the Kamakura period in the 12th century, flourishing through the Sengoku and Edo periods. Loyalty to one's lord was prioritized, and seppuku emerged as a way to reclaim lost honor or to protest against injustices. Notably, during the Edo period, a new form of seppuku arose, voluntary and often political, a stark statement against a superior's decisions. Despite its daunting nature, seppuku was sometimes seen as a privilege, a way for samurai to assert control over their fate. Yet, its solemnity and brutality have cast a lengthy shadow over history, intriguing historians and curious minds alike. The echoes of this ritual symbolize the depth of the human spirit in its willingness to embrace extreme actions when bound by the stringent codes of honor. As we delve into the intricacies of this ritual, let's remember the cultural landscape that crafted such drastic displays of valor. The tale of seppuku invites us to ponder what drives a person to face such a terrifying end, and how does one's culture shape their perceptions of honor, life, and death?